Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I usually just delay a little bit at the beginning because it seems to take a while for YouTube to do its thing, but at least today we haven't got random music playing, which is what happened last week and took over my stream for the first few minutes. So welcome, it's good to have you.
Feel as if you're
It's happening again. Do you hear that?
Live Claritin Clear.
I don't understand why it's doing that. It's like, there we go, I fixed it anyway. There we go. I need to talk to YouTube about why it does that. Very, very strange. But, welcome. Hi, everybody. Good to see you folks in chat. There's a bunch of you I know that have been waiting. Welcome. It's good to see you guys here. Let's see, who have we got online? We've got Ed. We've got TG Playtime. Hello. We've got Sadistic Minds. We've got Tuscanomi. Hello. Snadler, hello. And some of these folks I know were talking in chat earlier, so they may not be here right now, but they may be here in a bit. But welcome. Today, we're going to spend some time. Hey, Arthur. Good to see you. We're going to spend some time in the workshop today. We're going to spend some time doing some stuff. I'm hoping today we'll actually get some work done. Last week, we spent a lot of time chatting, which was great, you know. But I'm hoping that we might be able to talk about some trap modifications that I'm doing with the Spirit Halloween trap. I'm in the process right now of making a video on how you can take one of these simple Spirit Halloween traps and convert it into something a little bit closer to, you know, what you'd expect to see on the screen. And I did a whole video on that that's on my channel, in fact, of how to take this and turn it into something that looks a little bit more like this, which, you know, just got a little bit more authenticity to it. You know, you can see the work that's been put into that there compared to this one, which looks kind of, you know, compare these two. One's quite plasticky, the other one's pretty, well, you know, leaning more towards what you'd expect to see, certainly from an Afterlife prop anyway. And one of the aesthetics that I really enjoy is this, this used universe look. I guess it's because I grew up with Star Wars, you know, which is a used universe, but the realism that comes from something looking like it's, you know, had a life, that it's been doing something, that something's been happening with it. So, yeah, we're good. RJ Early, hello. Good, welcome to the chat. Ed is not craving chicken anymore. Ed, I don't know what to do about that. You've been craving chicken for so long, every time I'm on these feeds, I don't know what to do with it. But you've had some for dinner, so you're fine. Well, that's good. But I bet that in only a little while, you'll be craving chicken again. So anyway, in chat, if you've got questions about how to take a Spirit Halloween type trap like this and convert it into something that's a little bit more realistic, that's a little bit more interesting, then throw those questions in chat. I'm happy to answer any of those questions. And if you're new here, one of the reasons that we're doing these streams with me chatting about props and about prop builds is that you know, it's something that I really enjoy doing. It's something that the folks on my channel have asked for us to do, and so I'm really interested in, you know, what specific questions you might have and how you might go through the process of doing something like converting something like this. And a question to those of you out there that are Ghostbusters fans, who has a trap like this? Does anyone have a Spirit Halloween trap? I'd be interested to find out the answer to that question, to find out if you have a trap like this or if you've tried doing any work on something like this. And also, the other thing that we covered last week was we looked at my proton pack build that was part way through. And so, yeah, I've got a much improved version of the proton pack that I was working on last week that I'd love to share with you guys a little bit later if you're interested in that. TG Playtime said, I'm 3D printing a trap. Awesome. What model are you using for that trap? Let me know in chat. I'd love to know. There's some great models out there for 3D printing. I haven't tried 3D printing a trap. This is a mod of the Spirit trap, as I said earlier. But I have played with 3D printing various other things. In fact, I'm halfway through 3D printing a Neutrino wand. I've got all the bits in a box. Yeah, so yeah, let's see. Sadistic Minds is saying, They had a spirit trap, but the gears on the trap broke. Yeah, these little ones here, right? and let me know about this. So I have a solution. If you've got doors that only go this much or that won't fully close, there's a trick for fixing that that I'm happy to talk about. If you want to talk about that, I'm happy to share some of my experience of doing that, because this little gear mechanism here, this piece, is fiddly, and was one of the most fiddly things that is involved in this whole process. You press this button down. Ed's saying, "Talk about it now, Matt. Tell us the answers." We need the answers now. So this little gear here, this is on the spirit trap. In fact, I'll show you the original trap. So this is the one that I haven't done any modifications on. You'll see here these two little pieces. And what happens is, if you notice, when I close the door, you see that move in and then out. So all that's happening is when you press this button down, oops, sorry, just shaking the camera. We already have enough earthquakes here in the New York area. Let's not have any more. You press this down, and what it does is, this is the default setting for the trap. So when you press this open, the springs, there's a spring mechanism in this piece here that pushes the doors open, which is why with your hand, you can push them closed and then they will spring back. Now, what can sometimes happen is that these gears, and it's going to be hard to see here, but you see how there's a gear here and a gear here. So the first thing you want to check is are any of these teeth broken? If they're not broken, then all that's happened is you've slipped a gear. And so what you can do is, you see on this side of the trap, there's screw hole here, 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 and here. If you loosen the screws, you may even be able to get away with doing it just on this end. If you loosen them a little bit, it only takes a couple of millimeters, and excuse me, hi Rebecca, welcome. It only takes a few millimeters to move it, and excuse me for speaking English measurements. Well, actually, the rest of the world measurements, just America that doesn't use millimeters. Everyone else in the world does. But you just move that out, and what will happen is the gear will become disconnected from this wheel. And what that means is that you can then move this door and then push the trap back together, and it will lock back into position. So basically, it's a little bit of playing around with which position you want to do that with. And then when you press that and it locks in place and is back out there, that's the way to play with it. Now, the only warning I would give you is have a look. I have a video on my channel with me taking this apart. This whole piece here is a bit of a faff. So if you do disconnect it, it may be a bit challenging to put back together. But you know what? If your trapdoor doesn't work anyway, you've got nothing to lose, really. So that would be my suggestion. If you've got any more questions about that, let me know, and I'm happily answer them. But basically what you're going to do is you're just going to move this open a little bit so you can re-engage the gears, and that should help you to get the trap up and working again. I hope folks that were asking about that question have got the answers that they need. Let's see, Rebecca checking in from the movie theater. We just finished Frozen Empire. Wow. Okay, Rebecca, you have beaten me with the number of times that you've seen Frozen Empire now, I can tell. Remind me what number this is. Is this the 5th time or 6th? I can't remember. Neuro One Neat. Neat. Yeah, thanks. And welcome to the chat. Tsukuyomi, we still use millimeters and centimeters in America. Well, it's true. It's true. I mean, I'm in America right now. It depends on what you're doing. If you're doing medical work, everyone uses centimeters and millimeters. But in construction, everyone uses inches. I've had to learn, living in the US for the last almost 6 years now, I can now jump between millimeters, centimeters, and inches, all in the same thing. My brain is kind of a mess of all that stuff. So, so no, I did not build this one, but the one I've got here is a modded trap. So this is a Spirit Halloween trap that's been modified to include more screen accurate looks. So you see it has these plates added to it and these other pieces on it, and it's been distressed and patinaed to make it look more like, if I shut that there so you can see it, to make it look more like one of the screen traps. And I've even taken the bar chart, which is on the original Spirit Halloween. Let me show you what that looks like. I can't really properly because this one doesn't have any batteries in it, but you'll see the difference between these two. They're quite dramatic. So this is the one that I've modded, and this is the original. Yeah, happy to talk about that. And I'm in the process, and this is what I wanted to chat about on this live. I'm in the process of modding one of these traps to make it smoke, like in the movie. So I will show you this trap here. So this is the one I'm modding at the moment. It hasn't been patinaed to make it look aged, but you'll notice it has got the plates on it that are designed to make it look like it's got the riveted metal on here and the plates on the back. And I've also added this connector, which has a control and the more screen accurate switch. And again, the bar chart at the top there. But the cool thing with this is, if you press this button here, the one I'm holding here, you will start to see smoke coming out of the trap. This is actually a video that I'm working on right now for my channel to show how to make this. So I'm literally in the process of making this video as we speak. I thought, why not stop and have a chat with you guys about what I'm doing. And I might even carry on doing some of the production. I've got a GoPro set up here so I can do some more filming if I want to, because I was about to do some patinaing of this and show you kind of the process of how to make that happen, because we started that last week. So I thought, why not do a little bit more of that? People are saying, wow, Ghost Trap. Yuri, hello. Ghostbusters is saying, Ghostbusters, welcome. Neuranet looks cool, thank you. Lily Warburton, hello, you are so cool, thank you, Lily. And you are cool too. And Langdon loves the prop, it's so nice, thank you very, very much. And Sneedler saying, that's so cool, nice, Matt. Thank you, thanks, guys. Yeah, so the thing I was working on is that when you open these doors, if you've seen the original Spirit Trap, and this is even my modded one, this is what it looks like inside, right? It's not very exciting. And so when the trap opens, it's a little bit of like, that's not very cool. So what I've been working on with this one is creating an inside that looks like this, that's way cooler. And the idea being, oh, that is so loud. So the idea being that if you bring the smoking trap, so it's smoking here, I'll let the smoke build up a little bit, but it's doing its thing. And then when you open the trap doors here, the idea being that you can press the button here and there's the smoke coming out of the trap. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So loud. But yeah, so all of this is what's coming up in my next video that I'm hoping to release tomorrow. But you guys are getting a sneak peek, because why not? And just so you can compare the difference between these two, I'm so worried I'm going to drop this while I'm trying to show you guys what I'm up to. Hang on, here we go. Try and pick this up. So you'll see that's the original trap there, the interior, and this is the new trap. And so what I've tried to create is this kind of grid here on the inside. And then in the center, this spine here is actually a tube that delivers the smoke. So let's see if I can just show you this more closely. So if you look, that tube, when I press the button here, that's where the smoke comes out of. And it takes a second to work its way up the tube. But what that means is it delivers smoke right into the center of the trap. And when you shut the door, it means the smoke comes right out of the gap between the two doors. And to put it mildly, it was quite a lot of stress getting it to this point. Like everything, when you're modding something, you have to do lots of detailed measurements and other things to kind of make it work. But once you get the measurements right, then you can do, a little bit of work to. I was just having a look to see if I could find the templates that I built, which don't seem to be anywhere nearby. But what I'll often do then is I've got a laser cutter engraver, not a very expensive one. So if you're interested in doing lots of mods or things like this, or making stuff yourself, I would highly recommend getting something like a laser cutter. But they're not very expensive these days. And it's very good for fast prototyping. So kind of everything that you see in here, this whole piece, even though it may not look like it, is a piece of wood that's been laser cut, and then I sprayed it. And the reason that it's got that kind of metallic look to it on the inside here is because I sprayed it with bed liner, which is one of the absolute best things that you can use as a coating for stuff. If you want to make it look more textured and realistic, using truck bed liner is a really great way to go. So it kind of gives it that, and again, you're not going to be seeing it perfectly here, but you can see it just down in the bottom corner. You see that kind of grainy, shiny look that's on the grill I'm talking about, not the rest of the plastic. That is how you get that. So truck bed liner is the way to go if you want to get that look. Let's see what else people are saying. Chrissy, hello, welcome to the chat. So yeah, and what I should also mention is these panels here are also laser cut. So they're laser cut from pieces of balsa wood, plywood. Balsa wood would not be strong enough, but they've been cut and then sanded and then again painted so they look more like metal. That's the idea. Eddie, hello, tardy to the party. Is that the Regal trap? It's not. This is a Spirit Halloween trap. And Eddie, I can't remember if you were in the... Just this is a really important point because a few people mentioned this earlier in chat before the stream started. The Spirit Halloween trap, and somebody told me last week in chat what it was called, but in the UK, the Spirit trap is called something else, or it's sold by another company. Or I believe you can get it imported by Spirit Halloween, but obviously the shipping is going to cost a little bit. So if you know in chat, let me know. But no, it's not the Regal trap. This is a Spirit trap. To your question about the connector, so this is actually an aviation connector. I'll show you it properly. Let me see, in all these things behind me, I have got a box of the aviation connectors somewhere, and I can show them to you. Too many things everywhere. And if I can't find it up here, I will just show you on the trap itself. Let me just show you on the trap. So basically, what this is it's a 4-pin connector. I created space in the back of the Spirit trap and then made this plate for it to go in. And then all I've got here is just a regular cable. Obviously, I've got some routing here to make it look more Ghostbustery, more Ghostbusters Afterlife. But then there's 4 pins on there, and there's 2 of them are connected. So when I press this button at the end, it sends the signal to the smoker that's in here that enables the smoke to happen. And I quite like this one because it's an aviation connector. All the aviation connectors have, they clip in, and then they have this twist, which is exactly the kind of thing. It's not exactly the same as the one in the movie, but it's very similar. And what it means is that you can hold it by that end. I'm not going to hang on to it too tight because I don't want to drop this. But that was the plan, was that it's strong enough to hold it. And that great scene in the first Ghostbusters, you know, when they roll the trap out and the cable kind of goes behind it and it pulls on this to stop the trap. That's the kind of look I was going for. And then anything, again, I did this on my other, this is my motorized trap. So actually this has got a servo system in it. I haven't got the connector for that right now. So I've actually just got, this is just a placeholder, right? It's just to make the trap look more finished. But actually I've got cable and connector that goes to a control panel that I can use to open the doors and trigger everything for this one. So yeah, so that's the aviation connector. You can get those on Amazon. They're really easy to find. Dubla VR said, don't let it out. Don't let the ghost out. Now I've got a haunting in my house. I'm going to have a problem. Luckily, I've got a proton pack down there that I can use to capture it later. Chrissy is saying, watched Frozen Empire last week and was very good. That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's see. Tuskiomi, I'm curious. Did you back the HasLab 2 in the box? If you did, will you do mod videos for it? So I personally didn't do that because I was building my own traps. And so I was like, I kind of want to build my own. But my buddy Nick ordered a bunch of them. And so I promised that when they arrive, if he's willing to let me borrow one, I will at least do a review of it and look at it. And if he wants any mods doing to it, then I'm happy to do those for him. It looks very, very good. If you've seen the Adam Savage video on that, then, you know, it looks like it's going to be exciting. Stephanie, hello. Welcome to the chat. So For those of you online that are interested in doing something like this yourself, if you're just watching and you just want to see what I'm up to, that's totally fine. And if you want to know more detail about this, like about the connectors that we just had a question about that Eddie asked, ask away. Very, very happy to answer any questions for you guys on this. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Love you guys to come back and see more of this content. Our channel's full of all sorts of fun things. We've got prop builds, we've got behind the scenes, and I do have an exciting announcement for you about something that I'm going to be covering in the next couple of weeks. That's not any of these things, it's more kind of behind the scenes stuff. I'll tell you a little bit about it when we get there to that point, but I will kind of hold you in suspense for it. Chris C is asking, thinking of getting the HasLab Proton pack, but I also need to get the wand for it, so don't know which one to get first. That is a really good question. And again, folks in chat that have got any of these things kind of let me know. But I played with both of them. So I have the HasLab pack, and I have the Neutrona wand, which I could go and get if I wanted to be blunt, because it's just through there. But I bought the wand first, to answer your question. So I bought the wand because I was 3D printing my own pack and I wanted to build my own pack. But the wand was such a reasonable price. I think it's 140-ish, I think. If you you know, want to start, I think getting the Neutrona wand is a really good place to start because it's very reasonably priced. And all the sounds and lights and everything that you'd expect from the pack are also on the wand, which is pretty cool. Tuskiomi has both. Sneeder's saying three traps is confusing. It's confusing for me. You know how confused I get. I get confused easily. But you know, I do. Ed is saying, so you get the wand first because it's cheaper, then save for the pack. That's what I did. I mean, you don't have to do that, but that is what I did. Let's see. Sneedler, is all plastic you made work by adding electronics in all of them? Okay, so actually, one of the things that I chose to do with these traps was preserve all the original electronics. So, I mean, apart from this, which is obviously part of the opening closing mechanism, that not included in the spirit trap, but the sound and lights I kept identical, and I just replaced the switch. And then you see this piece here. This is a lamp cover that fits exactly over this lamp here. So this is the original LED, and I was able to take that and this and reuse both of these. I mean, obviously not the switch, but the connectors for it, to enable me to make it look like it does there. And again, the other thing I don't like, I don't know if you can see this here, but you see all these seams on the trap? All these seams, and this one particularly, the fact that there's this huge seam, and often on the spirit traps, see that? It doesn't line up, so it just takes away from the feeling of realism. And to be able to replace that with something that looks a lot more like that just made me a lot happier. And again, it's not as hard to do as you may think. Let's see, Gavin. Hello, Gavin. Welcome. Eddie is, going back here. Ed is saying got the 80% spirit pack. I have one of those, and they're not bad at all. Eddie's saying you essentially had to get the wand first on release. That's true, you did. If you were going in order, no pack, and then by the time the pack came out, the wand was sold out. It's true. It's true. They're much easier to get now. Gavin, hello. Christy's saying, I'm thinking of getting the new Toronto? Probably don't mean Toronto. Maybe you do. I don't know. Wand fast because you think I should get that on my birthday because it's nearly my birthday. Hey, go for it. If you can get somebody to buy that for your birthday, Neutrona wand, not Toronto wand, Neutrona wand. That's it. That's cool. What does this look like when it's on? It looks like this. That's what it looks like. Right, I'm going to be right back because I can hear my dogs going crazy. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Chat about stuff together. I have returned. What did you get up to while I was gone? Let's see. What are people saying? Let's see. Snedler's responding. Eddie's saying the currently released 84 wand, which is still available. Yeah, highly recommend it if you're interested in getting a pack. Secretly hoping for an 84 pack to come out. That would be cool, wouldn't it? It would be very cool. And I'm actually kind of in two minds about whether my pack's an 84 or whether it's somewhere between that and Afterlife. I kind of like to go my own way with things, so we'll see. Ed is saying, got the Hasbro Spengler Neutrona wand for Christmas, saving up for the pack. Also getting the Spirit Halloween walkie-talkie, but they're rare in the UK and more expensive for shipping. Yeah, they are. It's harder if you're in the UK for that stuff. Tuskiyumi, the pack will take some time to get and find a decent price. The more time goes on, the HasLab pack will be hard for, it's going to get more and more expensive because of the nature of the pack. And I think we talked about this, that they actually used the HasLab pack in Frozen Empire. So the shot of Phoebe with the sparks coming out of the back of the pack, that was actually a HasLab pack that they'd modified. If you watch Adam Savage's channel, Tested, there's a whole video on that you can see in there, which is kind of fun. Steeler's saying my dog wants to be in the live too. Yes. The dogs were just going crazy outside. I don't know why. But they're in now, and they're chill. Justin, are you going to make a gigameter? I haven't got plans to do one, but that's an interesting idea. Chrissy's saying, I really like your videos. Super cool. And the one where you modded the Spirit Halloween one. So I want to create one myself, and I'm going to someday. Good for you. Yeah, you should try. And like I said, this one is the one that was in that video. This is the one that opens. And actually, some of you have been asking me, because I trailed it in a few of my videos. We made this actual version of the trap for an in-person live Ghostbusters experience that we created. So this whole space that I'm in now was converted into I guess a Halloween walkthrough. I do a big Halloween walkthrough every year, and it had, operational traps, proton packs. People got to fix their pack and then kind of go up and bust a ghost. We had, projection and holographic stuff and smoke and sound effects, and whew, it was a lot. It was exhausting. I have been working on trying to get that video together. It's months of footage, because there was making the props, which is the videos I've been bringing out to begin with. And then after making the props, we had this 3-day intense period where we had we'd invited hundreds of people to come, and they'd signed up and they were ready to go. They're very excited. We told them the Ecto one was going to be out here at the front, and that they were going to get the bus ghosts, and we had 3 days to put all of that together and deliver it. And so, yeah, this was the hard work that went in before that to make that happen. What else are people saying in the chat? Let's see. Nima's saying that they collect spores, molds, and fungus. You're on the right chat if you collect spores, molds, and fungus. Good for you. Ed, Ghostbusters cosplay is more hard to get to, but still got my Ghostbusters fan suit. Nice. Gavin, peace. Peace, Gavin. There are some, just going to be saying there's some good packs out there for the, some good mod kits out there for the Spirit pack. There are. If you've got a Spirit Halloween pack, both the 80% and the full size, you can either buy kits or you can even 3D print stuff. If you've got a 3D printer at home, I know there's stuff to make the clip art valve look more realistic and other stuff like that that you might be interested in doing. So yeah, let's see. Crystal Man, what day did you go to see the movie in? Which day did you go and make that live stream of The Lion from the Library? So I did a live stream from New York 2 weeks ago. I guess it was a week ago. It was a week ago on Thursday, where I was live from the New York Public Library. That was super fun. And we live streamed the Lions and we chatted about that. Then Thursday this week, just gone, I went to to Dana Barrett's apartment, Spook Central. So that's in the live too. So if you want to check out the live from the library or the live from Spook Central on Central Park West, both of those lives are up on my channel. And also, the week before that, I live streamed from the New York Ghostbusters headquarters from the firehouse. So yeah, all of that stuff is up there on the channel if you want to check it out. Justin's asking me if I can make a slime blower. That is a big job, Justin. I'm not going to say no. I'm just going to say that's a big job to make a slime blower, but I would love one. Josh is saying that they love my vids. Thank you very much. Jeanette saying awesome. Slater's saying I like that when you do stuff, you always go all in. Hey, it's me. I do go all in. And half the time, this is the thing I really want to make clear. I'm not setting myself up as any kind of expert with doing this stuff. My expertise is probably going all in. That is my expertise, is being enthusiastic and excited about this kind of stuff. And then I kind of figure out how I'm going to do it as I go. Like when I built an animatronic dinosaur, I didn't know what I was doing, but I just really wanted to do one. So that's what's happening. And last week, when we started talking about the Alien franchise on this channel, I got so excited about the idea of building a xenomorph head. I think that is going to happen, especially because of the release of Alien Redux is coming out soon. I do plan. I do plan on building a xenomorph head. And I'm just I was thinking this week about how to do the actual effects part of it, how animatronic to make it, because the animatronics is the bit that kicks my butt. Okay, Josh is saying, really love the vids. Please say about my comment. Josh, I am speaking about your comment. You're very welcome, and welcome to chat, and welcome to the channel. And it's great. Always love chatting to fans of the channel. Thank you for being here on the live. Ed's going back to the comment about the mod kits for Spirit Pack. They can be expensive, which is why my approach to this, I mean, hey, let's not to say I haven't bought stuff online. I have. And the electronics that are in my pack that, if you want me to talk more about the pack, by the way, we can switch from traps to pack, because I got some updates to show you. But I bought my electronics online, and I'm going to be getting a smoker online as well for my pack. So some of those things are really worth getting, but if you can print stuff, if you can buy models, if you can make your own models, if you can use apps like Onshape to build things in 3D, again, a lot of this is new to me, but you can do an awful lot about stuff. Jeanette is saying that they've enjoyed watching you. Thank you, Jeanette. Stephanie, the actor who plays Slimer in Frozen Empire, followed me on Instagram a few days ago, made my whole week. That is super cool. That's great, Stephanie. Chrissy's saying, I'm thinking of getting a free printer so I can do stuff on my ghost trap. I'm thinking of being a creator of building Ghostbusters traps because I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters. Ed was saying that they were in that stream, what I was talking about. Sorry, I'm behind on these questions. Let me try and catch up a second. Let's see. Tsukiyomi, the guy who does the Frankengeek mod is in my Ghostbusters group. Oh, that's cool. Let's see. You're some unknown. Welcome. How do you feel about chicken eating people? Is that chickens eating people? Or chicken eating people? People that eat chickens? You have to clarify for me. Or that's some kind of comment about Ed, who's always hungry for chicken. Harrison, love the videos, keep up the good work. Thank you, Harrison. I super appreciate that. Ed is asking about PKE meter. So I have a PKE meter. It's the standard Spirit PKE meter. I definitely want to mod it. So that will definitely be happening at some point soon. Eddie's asking about the pedals. So I did not. This is the trap that the doors open on. I did not make a pedal for this. I wanted to, but let me tell you specifically why I didn't. This was designed for an experience, and so the folks going through the live experience had the opportunity to control this trap. And because I wanted them to have something that they could look at that was at eye level, the room was very, very dark. I created a control panel they could hold, that they turned a button to kind of activate the trap. The control panel then started shaking. So it felt like, you know, vibrations were happening inside it. And then they had to press the button to open the trap and then press the button again to close it. And the idea was that bringing that control panel up to kind of eye level meant that everyone else in the room could feel like they were part of the experience. So that was a very intentional choice not to make the pedal. Not because I don't want to make a pedal. I really would love to make one. I probably will, actually. But more because I was designing this for a different purpose, if that makes any sense. Let's see, Stephanie is saying it is. And then TG Playtime, I use Fusion 360 to design my models. That's great. 3D modeling is a great skill to have. Jadil, hey Jadil, welcome. Welcome back, Ed. More conversations about chicken. Chrissy, if you did not know, Baraka was actually animated. Oh, Baraka was actually animated, just a guy holding his head. Yes, I did know that from seeing some of the behind the scenes. That's what you see there. Let's see. Mickey Edits, hello. Can it catch a ghost? Well, I was showing this earlier. So this one is the one I've modded to smoke. And so, you know, I think if you listen, there is a ghost inside this trap somewhere, which is why there seems to be smoke coming out of it. And then if you open the door, I think that probably means it's escaped. I can't get over how loud the sound is on, and I said earlier about that. It'll stop in a second. About these spirit traps, the sound and the lighting is everything that I use by default. The only thing that this is missing that is really great from the movie that I would love to do if I was going to redo the sound on this is that great effect when the trap shuts, the bar chart goes up, then it's like beep 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 beep, and it kind of makes a sound that it's caught the ghost, which I'm sure is going to be in the tuna box that we talked about earlier. Robert, hello. Modit's Robert. Sorry, Robert. Robert has modded 3 spirit PKE meters. Okay, earliest is sound module and 5-volt booster. Cool. Yeah, I saw a PKE meter when I was at the premiere of Frozen Empire. Some of the Ghostbusters from Germany had done a great mod on a PKE meter that had updated sound effects and an updated kind of whole sound circuit, and it sounded really, really great. It was very, very good. Chrissy's asking, are you going to make a foot pedal for the trap, or do you already have one? So yeah, as I was saying earlier, I will make a foot pedal for it, but I haven't got one right now. And actually, again, this was designed... so I modded this, but the idea of this is that it's got this here, but so you can hold it like this, and then it will just smoke. So kind of like you see in the movie, and you can't see it very well there because of the lighting. But yeah, the idea is that that you kind of hold this one, and the cable's behind you. So it's about creating the effect. So this one probably won't have a pedal because it's more of a prop to just kind of hold. And show, oh, hey guys, we caught a ghost. Let's see. Cecil Holloway. Hello, Cecil. Ghost. Yes. It's in here. It's safe. Jeanette said, I love the way I made it. Thank you. Maui Link from Italy. Hello. Welcome. Welcome here from Italy. Snedler, would it look stupid with a strobe light in the trap? No, I don't think it would. I think that now I've going to turn this off because of the loudness. Now I've created this grill inside here. I actually think that the lights that, sorry, you're going to have to hear this loud noise again. The lights that come with the Spirit pack, and again, it's quite bright in this room right now, but they're not really doing it for me. So if you could change these for something much, much brighter. There we go, it stopped. That would be my preference, would be able to do that. And when we did the live experience, and we had this trap opening up, we did have the original lights in here, but we had a very bright light right behind it, kind of set off, and then we had a huge smoke machine, a vertical smoke machine. So what happened was, when the trap doors opened, like that, you had the flashing lights and all these things that you'd expect to see for the process of catching the ghost. But then you had this huge plume of smoke that flew up. I almost knocked my own cap off then. And we projected, you know, the kind of the shape, the beam of light coming out, and the ghost being caught and going back into it. We animated that and projected it and timed it perfectly so that when the ghost was caught, the trapdoors went boom and shut, and then we were actually able to project onto the trap and just above it electricity. So people were like, "Whoa, we really caught a ghost." So that was kind of how we played with that. Let's see, what else are people saying? Chrissy is saying, "I have the Ghostbusters spirit." I don't know what that word is in relation to the spirit. Spirits Unleashed. Spirits Unleashed, the game. And I beat the game in one day. Wow. That's impressive. That's very, very impressive. Jeanette is saying, "Should do some visual effects every time the trap opens and a ghost flies out." Yeah, well, I mean, that was... So I have not posted that video yet, but that's literally what we did. We used projection, and actually we had multiple layers of projection. So we had scrim. If you don't know what scrim is, I'm sorry if I'm insulting your intelligence, but it's like a fabric that you can project on, but you can also see through. So we're able to create a projection on it, but you were able to see behind it. So it looked like a ghost. So it literally looked like there was a transparent ghost, and we had the set behind it lit up. And so it looked very, very cool. Ed, "I'm going to New York City for Ghostbusters Day. Hope to see you there. I'm going to go straight to you and say it's me." Do it, Ed. I'll have some chicken in my pocket. PG Playtime, "I'm 3D printing now." Awesome. That's cool. That's cool. I hope that watching the stream motivates you to go out there and make stuff. I would love that to happen. I really would. Sneedler, yeah, for the Ghost Tour video, I saw that. Cool. Robert Irving, "Hi Robert. The Germany Ghostbusters are awesome, I agree. I got their spirit module for my PKE, but they haven't made them in a while. I'll have to send you a link for the parts and sound file I made for my mod, please. If you want to share that with me on Instagram, I would love that. Thank you, that's very kind of you. Ivis, hello. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Ed, chicken. Chrissy, "I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters and you, so I'm thinking of being a creator like you and making Ghost Trap is nearly finished." Cool. Well, hey, look, again, if you're inspired by any of this stuff, I'd love to hear that. That's great. And good luck to you, Chrissy. I hope that you're successful in doing that. Let us know how that goes. Eddie, "What is one of the 2-pack trap gear mods that you personally don't care for?" You can't say none, not allowed. Let's think about this. What is 1 or 2-pack trap gear mods that you personally don't care for? All right, so it's very important to note, and I appreciate that you've used the word personally, because everyone has different tastes. And so I'm a fan of anyone doing whatever they want to do with their pack that makes them happy. I'm cool with that. The thing I like the least is when people put permanent slime on their packs. And I know some people love that, and that's totally fine. I'm not dissing them. That's not my jam. So that would be one mod that I'm not a huge fan of. And I'll supplement it with one I am a huge fan of. So I'm a huge fan of the attenuator that Adam Savage made, because I really like his thought process that when you're facing forward, you've got your pack on and everything. You see the silhouette of the pack behind you with the neutrino wand, and then everything else is just strapping really. And so adding this, and again, if you haven't seen it, the attenuator is like a little pack that you can put and you can turn it, and it's got kind of the similar bar chart to the other Ghostbusters stuff. I love that. So hopefully that's hopefully that answers your question, Eddie. Let's see. Sneaver saying, Chrissy, share a video when you're done with it. Yes, please do. Tsukiyomi, I have one of the attenuators for my pack. Nice. Yeah, they're really cool. So, yeah, I mean, we can, you know, there's all sorts of really awesome stuff that you can get for packs. So, you know, let's talk about that stuff. You know, if you've got stuff that you want to talk about, gosh, why can't I put sentences together today? I definitely need more sleep, is what I need. Let's see. Chrissy Laman, do you know? Well, I think you should get the new neutrino one because the proton pack doesn't blast like the new neutrino because the neutrino one can't blast. I'm not sure I fully understand that, Chrissy, but yeah. Sorry, I didn't fully understand. I do apologize. TG Playtime is saying, can we see your pack? Yes, you can. Let me make some space. Let me make some space here, and I'll bring the pack in that I'm working on, and we can let's have a look at it. Just, you know, chat amongst yourselves for a few minutes. So this is where I've got to so far with my pack. Let's see. Let's just change the angle a little bit and move this over here. So move this out of the way. So this is where I've got to so far, and it doesn't look like much, but the biggest piece of work that I've been doing on the pack. Let me just move the camera a tiny bit so you can see me and the pack. And maybe I can move this closer. Look, I'll do this. Is that better? Can you guys see better like that? Trying to get me and the pack in and see everything. So this is where I've got to so far, and I can't remember if because I'm looking at this on the app. So over there I can see the full frame, but again I don't want it being cut off by chat. Thank you. People are saying it looks amazing. Thank you very much. Lots of people responding really nicely. Thank you. Robert, my friend Shannon has an attenuator with the Ghost Star sound modules for a fully modded HasLab. Oh, nice. It's brilliant and does control the pack sounds and lights. That's cool. Jeanette saying, wow, thanks, Jeanette. Tsukiyomi also have the calculator belt gadget from the Ecto Labs. Oh, that's good. That's cool. People saying it looks cool. Sneedler saying thank you. Yeah, remember to like. Yeah, if you're enjoying this, just hit the like button. Not the heart one, but the like button. The one that says like. And then that sends people this way to this video. And if you're enjoying this stuff, hit subscribe, please. You know, because as those of you that are dedicated fans in the chat that have been here for a long time, first of all, thank you for always tuning in and being so awesome. I super appreciate it. I really do. You guys always make my day when we chat about this stuff. So thank you very much. And if you're new, you are so welcome. I'm gonna hazard to say that we're building a really lovely community on this channel of folks, as you can probably tell from the great chat that we're having. So if you like this, and you're interested in Ghostbusters or prop building or 80s style movies, if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, you know, in these kinds of things, you know, that we're doing today, smoking traps, or anything behind the scenes and geeky, this is a channel for you. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. And I will announce it towards the end of the stream. got a big announcement about something I'm going to be covering in the next month, which is going to be super exciting. Welcome. If you like it, hit subscribe. If you're enjoying it, hit like, because it sends those messages out to YouTube algorithm to say, hey, people, come to this video and watch it. Let's see. So, Eddie, who made the shell? What did you decide to... what made you decide to go with the one you got? So this is the Q shell. It was a 3D print. So this is all 3D printed. Took a long time. And I am making a full video on the process of 3D printing this and putting it together. So that was, I made the decision simply because I wanted to 3D print it. And I'd heard this was good. And I went on Ghostbusters 3D Props forum on Facebook, which is where I found a lot of the information. And there's a great community there. Let's see, Chris is saying, what are you trying to make it from? Which one? So that is a good question. I'm still up in the air. I think, as you've seen my aesthetic here, which is quite used universe, I'm probably leaning more towards Afterlife, but I don't necessarily want to do all of the additional wiring from Afterlife. So I'm thinking of kind of like a bit of a beat up 84, with maybe a few mods of my own. We'll see. We will see. TG Playtime is, I'm making mine out of random pieces of cardboard. I have a spare from other models. That's cool. And there's, I saw it, I didn't watch it fully, but there is a great YouTube video on making a proton pack completely out of cardboard. If you're interested in doing that, look for that on YouTube. It looked good. Jeanette just liked. Thank you, Jeanette. And if you're enjoying this feed and you haven't liked it, please hit like. I appreciate you reminding me to say that. Ed is saying, I don't know why, but the 80s movie I enjoy more than the modern movies sometimes. Yeah, I mean, you know, I love those 80s movies so much. I love the original so much. And the fact that I get to build my own proton pack, living the dream right now. I love doing this stuff. Eddie's saying, do you have any issues with stepping when it comes to large 3D prints like that? This is a great question. I watched a whole video on stepping just this week. And if anyone is new to 3D printing or hasn't 3D printed, stepping is you get these little lines. Let me show you an example, if I can. So this, these are the tubes that are here on the side, but they're unfinished. So this is a 3D print. And what you'll immediately see, and hopefully it's harder to pick up because of the quality of the picture, but if I run my finger down this, you'll hear that there's all little lines. Now, sometimes what can happen, you'll notice actually this print has come out really well, but you can, and you won't be able to see it on the video very well, but there's every layer is a different, let me start that again. A 3D print is made of multiple layers, and sometimes things happen, like the print bed will move a little bit, or the Z will move a little bit on the printer, and what it will do is it will cause this to be uneven. And so you do have to adjust your printer to make it right, but then you have to go through a process. It's a long process of smoothing out the 3D print. So I'll show you an example, actually. I've got a couple of examples of smoothing out 3D prints. So this is my most recent example. So this is actually a button for, it's going to be the on-off button that you see in Ghostbusters Afterlife. And this originated, and I don't think I can get too close without it going out of focus. Can you see that okay? Is that in focus enough? You'll notice that you can't see much in the way of the lines like you could on this one. That reflectiveness is because of all those lines. And so the process really is doing a lot of work to actually smooth this stuff down and spray paint it with multiple layers. And again, you know, even on this is the clip art valve, you can still see, even though I've done spraying and multiple layers, it's still got that 3D print look, and it's quite hard to get rid of unless you're very, very patient, or you have a very expensive printer that you're going to use. And there are some great printers coming out. My printer isn't a super expensive one. It's a fairly cheap one. But Bamboo do some great printers that are super expensive and do beautiful printing. And so I think, but my recommendation always is, if you're new to printing or you've not done a lot of it, start with a basic model and then kind of work up. And if you get skilled with understanding that basic 3D printer, then you're going to have far more success with a more complex, more engaging, more detailed one. Let's see. People saying stuff in chat. Sorry, I'm missing you. I was explaining the answer to that. Eddie, that's a great question, and it is a challenge sometimes. But configuring the printer, this is me abbreviating what I said, configuring the printer, and then that work that you have to put in at the end is a big deal. And the finish on this, by the way, I'm really happy with the finish on my pack. You can't see any print lines on this, and part of that is because I talked about this earlier. The parts of the pack. This is where it's going to fall over while I'm here. Come on, stay. Okay, it's going to crash to the floor behind me. I sprayed it with parts of it with bed liner, which gives it that metallic type of finish. I talked about this earlier when I was talking about the traps. So I sprayed it with this, and what it does is it gives it that kind of cast metal look to it. And the other thing that's really good is if you put a few coats of this on, it will really get rid of your layer lines. It will help. It won't get rid of all of them. If the layer lines are really, really bad, then it won't fix it. But it takes it away from looking like plastic and like a 3D print, if the look you're going for is a kind of metallic cast metal look. So that's my advice. And actually, this advice, I didn't come up with it myself. This was advice given to me by Ben Eady, who is, as you know, was the prop master on Ghostbusters Afterlife. And Ben and I actually, we talked about doing a live together. I've got to get back to him with some times, but I'm really hoping in the next couple of weeks that Ben, Eady, and I will do a live together on this channel and on his channel. And we can talk about all these Ghostbusters tips for prop building. He, as you can imagine, is a mine of information. And one of the funnest experiences of my life, walking around Ace Hardware with Ben Eady on FaceTime, getting answers about what to buy to build my proton pack. That was pretty fun. Right, sorry. People saying that they've hit like, thank you. And if you haven't hit like and you're on the channel, hit like, because it sends more people here to join the chat. Really cool. People saying nice things. Sorry, just trying to go through all this chat here. Let's see. TG Playtime saying, I wanted to fully print my pack, but my printer isn't big enough. It is challenging. And I printed, this wasn't one piece, I'm sure you know that. I printed each pieces of the cyclotron was a piece on its own. I bought a 3D printer. My rule of thumb for how big my 3D printer was going to be was that it needed to be large enough to print a Stormtrooper helmet. That is my gold standard for printing. Robert is saying, going to do a full-size Spirit pack, got the Taco Belly 3D printed cyclotron mod and Frozen Empire bumper. Getting some other 3D printed parts too. Going to do a hybrid 8489 and Frozen Empire. Oh, I really like that idea. That sounds great. I'd love to see how that turns out, Robert. I'd love... I know that people have been doing mods for the Spirit Pack, but I didn't know Taco Belly had done one, and this is a Taco Belly shell. So I'd be very interested in finding that out, because when I'm done with this, it's probably not the pack I'm going to wear out. This is going to be my perfect pack that will probably stay fairly close to home. Unless I get to meet Adam Savage and want to show him my pack, this would be the pack I'd show him. But if I was out on the street, the Spirit Pack is the one I'd take. So to make it look more in universe, I'd love to know more about that. TG Playtime also can't be bothered to fill and sand down that much material. It's super long-winded. There's a couple of things that you can do to make it a little bit quicker. But yeah, let's see. Oh, sorry, clicking the wrong things here. Let's see. Sneedler, might be a stupid question. About the stepping. Yes, Can't you give some model ship glue as a base and then spray print it first? Oh, paint it first. I'm not sure I fully understand, but do you mean like on the bed that you use a spray glue? That's what I've done anyway, to hold things in place so they don't move. But sorry if I didn't understand your question. I apologize. Robert's saying, I've learned from Ben Eady using, yes, cabinet scrapers is basically whittling the surface to smooth them. That is a great idea. Literally behind me. This is what we're talking about. So this is a scraping tool that you can use to scrape parts of your print. And actually I use this very shape here to help me with this edge here to make it easier. It is easier in some places than trying to sand it, because you have to sand, then you have to prime, then you have to sand. There is also another method of using like an acetone, and this is what you see left in here, but it's like an acetone mix with like a Bondo, and you, oh, that smells. I usually have a mask on where I'm holding, when I'm doing that. But what happens is that the Bondo, which is used for, let me show you it. Yeah, it's a glazing putty. So you can mix a glazing putty with acetone. And then what you do is you paint that over, and the acetone carries the Bondo particles into the lines. And so that really helps to fill in those little layers. And what it means is that you can make it look flat much, much quicker. And again, it depends on the quality of your print. I'm just trying to think if I've got anything here. Yeah, let's see. So you can see that on here. This is an example of that mix. So it looks this color, and again, hopefully you can see that. And then you paint it on. This is a bellows that would go here on the pack. But you use that, and then it goes into all the tiny holes. And then when you sand it off, it gives you a much smoother finish. You need to sometimes do it a couple of times. So you kind of do it, you sand it. You do it, you let it dry, then you sand it, and then you come back to it. But the particles are very, very fine, so you need to wear a mask when you're doing this. You don't want to breathe that stuff in if you can help it. Let's see, what else are people saying? TG Playtime recommend using Tamiya model filler. Okay, I'll have to try that out. Eddie's asking, do I have a jumpsuit? I do have a jumpsuit. In fact, I wore it a little while back. I didn't wear it for Ghostbusters for the premiere, but I wore it. My buddy Nick, who has an Ecto-1 replica, that I'm sure many of you know, Ecto-1NJ, if you're Ghostbusters fans. And if you don't, check out Ecto-1NJ, beautiful 84 replica of the original Ecto-1. Has been officially used by Sony now to promote Wonderverse in Chicago and to promote Frozen Empire in New York City. But he was being, and his cover was being, his car was being covered by the New York Post. And it was really funny, actually. So he was taking a reporter and a videographer on a tour. And I suggested that what would be really funny is if halfway on this tour, a Ghostbuster just turned up with a smoking trap, which is the one you see here, that I hit the open button on, and just flagged down the Ecto-1 and got in the back. And so I dressed up in my jumpsuit, I had my pack on, I had a smoking trap, and I was on Fifth Avenue, literally on Fifth Avenue, where you see the sewer dragon chase. That's where I was. And he stopped and he said to the guys, "Sorry, I gotta pick this Ghostbuster up." It's what he said. And so yeah, that was pretty fun, actually. And the reporter and the videographer were so shocked. They were like, "What? who is this crazy guy?" Because Nick said, "Look, it's a Ghostbuster. It's my job. I got to pick the Ghostbuster up." And we and he rolled down the window when he pulled up and said, "What you got in there?" And I said, "Oh, Class 5, full roaming vapor, of course." But yeah, that was super fun. So that was the last time I wore my full outfit. Let's see. Christine's back. Welcome back. Let's see. What else have we got here? I do apologize. I'm getting behind on these questions. You know what? I might use... It's going to be easier for me to use my my iPad here to answer all the questions, because they're coming in thick and fast in the chat here, and I can't keep up with them. Okay, Chrissy's talking about modding a big pack. Ed's made a fan film. Oh, that's cool, Ed. Called Ghostbusters Reunion. If you did answer, sorry, I got kicked out. That's cool. Ghostbusters Reunion. That's great. Can I check it out? Yeah, Ed. I mean, let me know where. I think did you mention this before? I'm so sorry if you did. If you link it, if you send it to my Instagram, or after this live has finished, you put it in chat, because you know the live chat's different to the long-term chat. Oh look, did you see that happen? My AI has kicked in on my phone. You see this? It's following me. It's because I did the OK sign. And now if I hold up the stop sign like this, it should stop. There we go. It's very cool though. It's very cool. Yeah, if you drop that in the chat, the link, 'cause you can drop it in the comments about this video, I'd definitely take a look at it. Beast of Plays, hello, welcome to the chat. Is asking what movie is that pack going to be? I don't know yet, so I'm still figuring it out. We were chatting about that. Let's see. Christy say, if you can't understand me, this will just help you out, mod. I'm assuming you're talking about a mod, Chrissy. I'm sorry. Again, I'm really sorry if I'm not getting it right. What you're saying. Ensley's World, hello. Do you have Ghostbusters Marshmallow Man? So I don't, but when we did our live experience here, we had a huge inflatable Marshmallow Man outside, which was pretty cool. When I release that video, you'll get to see that. Sunita's saying the Ghostbusters 2 grey suit is their favorite. Yeah, I understand. I get that. It's a good. I really like that when Ghostbusters 2 came out. It's a good color. Robert's saying, yeah, we met at Wonderverse for the grand opening. That's right, we did. Got to meet and hang with Ectotech, and I think Nick too. Yes, that's true, Robert. That's true. I forgot that. You're right. And I do apologize in advance, by the way. Sometimes I have a problem matching, and Nick and Greg have both made fun of me for this. I remember people, but I can't necessarily match the name to the face. Does that make sense? So if I see you and I've met you and I see you again, I'll remember you. But I might not remember the tag that goes with you. So if I meet you sometime at like Ghostbusters Day or something else, I super apologize if I don't make that connection. Just help me out. It's not because I'm being rude, I promise. Francisco is asking what I'm using for a motherboard. That's a great question. I'll come back to that. I'll show you in a second. Soaps is saying, how long does it take to make them? Well, I've been taking much longer than I need to with this pack. Really, the printing takes a long time depending on your printer. So it took quite a long time for me to print everything. And of course, not every time you print something does it come out perfectly. So there's that problem. Then actually putting all the pieces together was a whole piece too, because these are all separate pieces. So you then have to screw them together and glue them together. And then after you've done that, you then have to sand it and make it all beautiful. So that's a whole thing as well. So how long does it take? It takes a while, is what I would say. And depending on how much time in the gaps of your life that you've got, like doing this and talking on live streams is not my full-time job. So, you know, I've got other things in my life that I have to do. So it can take a while. Chris is saying, what's the biggest advice to be a Ghostbuster? That's a great question. I think a love of the franchise. If you love the franchise and you love that world and that universe, that love will direct you and guide you as to what you want to do, would be my advice. Bleak Hallow Productions, hello, welcome to the chat. Jeanette, don't forget to tell people to like your videos and subscribe. Thank you, Jeanette. Hello, I'm Matt. This is Experience Explorers. We're talking about building Ghostbusters props today, and we talk about building other props also. We're not just a Ghostbusters channel. We're a big, wide-ranging channel of fandom and fun. And if you like this stuff, why not like? Why not subscribe? And if you want to find out the other videos, I've been talking about a lot of stuff and rambling on, but there's a great video on making a trap. There's going to be a video on making this. There's videos on all the Frozen Empire behind-the-scenes stuff that we've done. And if you're new here, I was very lucky to go to the premiere of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire and follow all of that and meet some of the cast and chat with McKenna and with Gil. And so if you're interested in that stuff, why not like? Why not subscribe? And if you're watching right now and you haven't hit the like button, this is the moment. This is the moment to hit it. You can do it. Just go and like, just the little thumb up button, hit that button right now, and I'll see it happen at the top. And it will make my life better. So I am going to come back to the motherboard question Francisco asked. So Robert is commiserating with me on the name issues. Thank you, I appreciate it. Astro, hello. Welcome to the chat. So, and Chrissy's talking about having 2 different types of traps, which is cool. Sneedler, yeah, printing needs time. Talking about the amount of time it takes to print this stuff. Matt, you better create a Jarvis AI from Iron Man. That would be amazing. Can you imagine just going, Jarvis, can you please create me a 3D printed pack? In fact, actually, don't make it 3D, make it real. Take this power source, put it in there, and make a real pack. I'm sure Iron Man could make a proton pack in about 20 minutes based on what I've seen from the Iron Man movies. Astro Controller, my friend has lost his mind. Are you talking about me, Astro? I mean, that's highly possible. So, motherboard. Let's talk about motherboard. So for those of you guys that are new to building a proton pack, the shell is the piece that goes on the front. And then you'll see all my messy work in the back here. In fact, this is what I was talking about. These are all different 3D printed pieces that have all had to be glued and screwed together at the back to make the pack one big piece. But all of that stuff has to sit on something, and that's called the motherboard. And this is my motherboard, so the piece that goes on the back. And actually, I've made this out of a very, very strong ply. So it's incredibly hard, and it's not going anywhere. Some people make theirs out of aluminium, if you're from England, and aluminum, if you're from America. And the original ones in the movie were made of aluminum. But what happens is the motherboard sits back here, and then connects on the back like this, if I can get it to work. Oh, come on back. Oh, you know what? My switch is in the way. There you go. And so what happens is it then sits on the back like this and really holds everything together and strengthens the pack. And then, of course, this is the place that you're going to put your connectors for your Alice. Alice backpack holder. Holder, is that the right word? But this is the Alice frame here, which is what goes on the back of the pack. So that's going to connect to the motherboard, and that's how all those pieces come together. So it's a lot. It's a lot of bits, and it's more than you think. If you want to make something that's kind of as close to screen accurate as possible, there's quite a lot to it. But the biggest thing that I found hard with this, again, that's been testing my knowledge, is this whole process of making these little clips. So these brackets, as you'll notice, they have to go onto the base, but you also have to be able to screw into the bracket to hold it in place. So I've had to learn how to do a little bit of rudimentary welding. So I can put a screw thread here, I don't know if you can see that, and put a nut on the back so I can screw from the pack into this. So that was new for me. So I had solder and a blowtorch and things like that. That was a whole thing. And then the other bit that I found hard, difficult to do, was really getting the electronics inside. So if you see in here, these are the lights in the cyclotron, and I bought a kit on Etsy for the cyclotron. And trying to get these to fit in with my kit and 3D print these lenses, they're called, and then get these lenses here to look right was a whole thing. Was a whole thing. So in the end, I did end up printing with a transparent. Let me find it for you. I'm going to bring this box of tricks over here. This is all the bits that I've still got to do with my pack. So what I ended up doing was 3D printing the lens that goes in here. But I don't know about you, but that to me looks the wrong color. And so then I got this lens to put over the top of it. And then what I even did was I put a light spray of black paint on here and covered it up to then make these look that color. I was trying to get them to look the right color that you see in the movie. And then this part was hard as well. So again, there's a whole thing trying to get that circuit board in the right position with my lighting rig. But this is what it looks like when you spin it up. Let's see the lights. There you go. So that's what it now looks like. And this has been what's taken most of my time over the past couple of days. Has been getting to this point to get the lighting. And the other thing was, by the way, this is really funny. So when I first put these in, I installed the lights and had them all set up. And then when I turned the pack over, the lights were rotating in the wrong direction because I'd had them in the right direction on the flip side of the pack. But obviously when you see it from the other side, it was wrong. So I was like, no! So I had to take the pack apart and rebuild it, which was challenging, to say the least. Let's see. Francine is saying hello, hello, welcome to the chat. Chrissy has a Phoebe Funko Pop. That's cool. I have a few Funko. Whoa! I told you that was going to happen. Sit. Ed is saying, I'm saving up for many things for my cosplay. Alice Frame, HasLab Proton Pack, Spirit Halloween walkie-talkie. Yeah, getting the whole thing and making it screen accurate, it's a lot of work. Ed, oh, so just sorry, I just read what you said, Ed. I'm so sorry. So you're saying, now the magic happens. There we go. Epic. Yeah, so it's looking good. And as you can tell, this bar chart is super bright. But yeah, it was a lot to try and kind of get it to this point. Robert's saying, been there with my 80 scale Spirit Pack with the cyclotron lights. Had them crossed. Took 30 minutes to get undone. Yeah, exactly. And I have, you can't see it now because I've taken them apart, but I put them in. But I was trying to get the kind of 84 look for these lights. So I don't know if you can see close up, but there's this kind of, I don't know, kind of particular look I was going for, and it took a while to get the right balance of color with those lights to do what I wanted them to do. So it's like everything that you do. If you're ever trying to do anything creative, it always takes 10 times longer than you're expecting to get anything right or make it the way you want it to look. Rita, hello Rita, is asking about Obelix. I don't know Obelix, but I do know Asterix. Chrissy is saying, I really like your Proton Pack. My ghost trap is nearly done, and I mean nearly done. Cool. That's cool. And obviously, there's lots more to do to this. So I've got, the bumper needs to go on here, which makes a big difference, actually. It's funny how much of a difference having the bumper on the pack makes it for looking real. And then, and I obviously had to take them off to do all the stuff that I've been doing here. But yeah, the bumper, and then all the cabling and wiring and all the bits and pieces that go into making it work. So it's a whole mission, is the way I would describe it. Nick has a question. Go for it, Nick. Ask your question. And welcome to chat. Welcome to chat. And if you've just arrived here and you're new to the chat, we're talking about Ghostbusters props today, building them, 3D printing them. We've been talking about, as you can see, the pack that I'm building right now. But we've also been talking about these traps I've been modding and making look very, very cool, more in universe. So yeah, we've been doing this too today. Let's see, Nick, can you say my full name? I'm trying to get a debate in? Nick Herr. That's your full name. Quids. Ooh, what is that? This is a ghost trap for catching ghosts. And if you're new to the chat, this is the one I've been working on that shows a ghost inside because it's a smoking trap. and smoke actually comes out of it when you hold it, just like in the movie, which is, you know, what we're going for here, trying to recreate movie experiences and you know, have fun while doing it. Chrissy, last time I was in the UK, and I wish I could have saw the line from the library. Yeah, well, USA, you mean? Yeah, the line from the library, very famous. Junior 3D printed. So the pack here is 3D printed. The trap is a Spirit Halloween trap that I've modded and added extra pieces to. So these plates and pieces here and panels on the back, those are actually laser cut from wood and then sprayed. Quilts, I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Apologies. That's very cool. I'm actually impressed. Thank you. I could never do that. You never know. I was saying earlier before you joined that, you know, I don't ever set myself up as any kind of expert in this stuff. I'm just kind of passionate about having the thing. I want to make it. And so I learn as I go. And sometimes I fail dramatically, and other times I'm successful. And there was plenty of fails for this one. In fact, I'm going to turn this off because it's going to be loud. But this piece in the center here that's inside that holds the smoker, I had a lot of fails trying to make this because the idea was I needed to hold this smoking tube in exactly the right spot and also allow, I'm going to make the loud noise now, also allow the lights inside to work. So it was a lot of, oh my gosh, it's so loud. It was a lot of experimentation and me making mistakes. So, you know, don't ever say you can't do stuff. Sometimes you can surprise yourself. I surprise myself all the time. Let's see. Sneegler saying, I'm amazed by everything they made in Ghostbusters was meant to go together. The logo, the uniform, the gear, the car. It was meant to be, yeah. It did come together great in that original movie, didn't it? Just fantastic. Ed's saying that they have to go. It's 10 p.m. in the UK. I need to get to bed. Yeah, hey, dude, get some sleep. Get some sleep. Thank you for joining the chat. It's been great to have you here. Chris is saying, I'm currently in a different country at that time. I wish I could see it at that time. Yeah, I get it. Hi, Lewis. V-hooks are the biggest pain. Oh, isn't that the truth? Yes. Look, I haven't even got to my V-hook yet, and I'm really, really worried that this is not going to be strong enough. So again, if you're not familiar with the V-hook is the piece that goes here that the neutrino one connects to, and also on the traps. Because these are spirit traps, I haven't actually put a V-hook on them, but there'd be a V-hook connector here, so you can put it on a thing on your belt. But yeah, they're a bit of a pain. They're basically like a piece of metal that's been folded into a V, and then it receives another V that fits inside it, and that's how the V-hook works. But yes, you are correct, Lewis. Bob, welcome. Bob is loving it. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Junior Pro 13, welcome. How many spools of filament did the pack use? I think to get this far, I got through, I think it was only 2.5, maybe 3. And I was printing quite thick and quite draft, because when you're printing something this big and you know that you're going to be painting it and filling it, you don't need to print in such a high level of detail. But some of the other pieces that I knew needed detail, like the Raytheon crank and stuff like that, I did print it at a higher level. And this pipe, which I knew needed to be smooth looking and not like this kind of metallic look, those I printed on a much more detailed print level. So yeah, it just depends on how much detail you're putting into it, and also all the things you print that mess up. Let's see, Ebony. Hi, Ebony. Where am I from? Well, you can probably tell in the accent I'm from the UK originally, but now I live in America in the greater New York area. Noah, hi. It's me from the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Hey, Noah, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Eddie, do I have a particular prop making or video making personal fail that still haunts me to this day? Oh, so many. That's a great question. You good with the questions, Eddie. So I'm going to tell you one from years and years and years ago. I was actually making a gremlin, and I was sculpting it from clay to then mold it. And any kind of clay sculpt, especially something that's trying to look like something that you know about, I was just getting really frustrated with how it was looking. And I spent so long on it, and I just kind of lost my temper a little bit. I was a little younger than I am now, and I just thumped it, this clay thing, and it wrecked it, obviously, because I was just annoyed that it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go, and so I basically had to start from scratch. So that was like a huge fail. Patience, people. Have patience with yourself and with the process. I think would be one of my biggest pieces of feedback. Everything that you think is going to take a certain amount of time, always double the amount of time that it's really going to take. Like I was saying about the lighting kit for this and getting all of these right. Like this took ages. And these rings that go in here, that you can see, they're made of a slightly, they're all plastic, but they're a slightly different material or different finish. You can see that the cyclotron's kind of that metallic finish, and then they're smooth. This one wouldn't fit in. So I was ready, I had epoxy, I was sticking them all in, I had the lenses ready, and then it just wouldn't fit. It was a nightmare. And so I had to let and if you're using epoxy glue, of course, you've mixed it up, it's a 5-minute epoxy. It was going hard, so I had to leave it, I had to sand the edges of this, I had to start again, I had to clean the epoxy off. Ugh, a nightmare, a nightmare. Let me look at the chat, because lots of stuff coming in here. Let me answer some questions. Let's see. Robert, I did make a 1/8 inch black ABS plastic plate for reinforcement for inside the pack while attaching the aluminum V-hook plate. That is smart. That is smart. So let me read that again. You made an 1/8 inch black ABS plastic plate for reinforcement for inside the pack when attaching the aluminum V-hook. Yeah, that is really smart. What I was thinking of doing was actually having the screw fittings going through and then having some kind of large washer. And when I say large, I mean like large. I can't get it now. But something, you know, significant. Maybe that's too big, but you know what I'm trying to say. With a nut behind it that holds the V-hook to this piece of metal. But I like the idea of reinforcing the plastic, because obviously 3D prints, depending on how much reinforcement you put inside, there's not a lot of thickness there sometimes. And so you can crush a 3D print. So that's a really smart move. I like that idea. I'm going to take some advice and thought from you there, Robert. Lewis, hi Lewis. Hint for you: make your volume control and not on your wand, not the crank generator. Okay, knob like everyone else. So much easier than trying to reach behind you. The clip art cap is a good place to put it. Thank you. That's a really good advice. And actually, I have the Spengler wand, which I'm planning to use, but I'm also planning on putting a smoker here. So I'm going to have a few extra, what I'm going to call widgets, as part of the pack that I'm building. So I'm actually in the process of trying to figure out exactly how to integrate all of those in the right spot. So I really appreciate that advice there. Okay, Chrissy, and still trying to create it now while watching you. Oh, you're working on your trap, so might not be able to speak momentarily, but we'll try to. Go for it, Chrissy. If this is inspiring you to get stuff done with your workshop or your home or wherever you're building stuff, go for it. I would love for that to be the case. 3D printing. What printer do I use? So I think it's super cheap. Solvo, I think it was the name of the company. I probably pronounced that wrong, but it was like a just under $200 printer. So not very expensive printer, because really, I've only been 3D printing for about a year, so I got, you know, a reasonably well-reviewed printer that was not very expensive as a way to start. And again, you know, with the title of your channel, maybe you've got way more experience than me, and so I'm always happy to learn from others. And as I was saying, my thought is, it's kind of actually something that Adam Savage, and some of you be familiar with Adam Savage from Mythbusters, wrote a great book called Every Tool's a Hammer. And he has this kind of philosophy for tools where you buy a tool when if you can borrow somebody else's tool. You can't really borrow a 3D printer, but get a starter tool, and then if you use it a lot and you like it, then get a more expensive one because you're going to get value from it. But always start with something simpler first to kind of get your head around it. So that was my kind of approach to it. But I've been really pleased with it. It's done a great job. But I am eyeing a Bamboo, which is a more expensive printer. Sneeder's asking, can you see the Spengler wand? You know what? If you're willing to wait for 30 seconds, I'll go grab it in a second. Lewis is saying, make the L bracket attached to the motherboard for the V-hook base for more strength. Right, let me read that again. Make an L bracket, okay. Yeah, I'm with you. Attached to the motherboard for the V-hook base for more strength. That's a great idea. So you basically have like a nice, good, big L bracket, and you're going to screw into the L bracket. And I guess the only thing to think about then is that if you need to take the motherboard off for any reason, you just have to unscrew the V-hook as well. But that's a great idea. Snow's saying, Egon is my favorite, as you know. What's the difference between the Spengler wand and the normal? Well, the Spengler is the afterlife wand, basically. And then the 84 wand is very similar to that. It just isn't the afterlife version. Lewis is asking, am I with Ecto NJ? I'm part of the Ecto NJ team, as Nick likes to call it. So I ride with Nick. I do a lot of video content for Nick. I'm actually working with a project with Nick at the moment, and was at the workshop yesterday, setting up some cameras in the car for something pretty exciting that we're hoping to do. Sven, welcome. Nice pack. Thank you. Some of you said you wanted to see the Spengler wand. I'll go get it. While I am gone, speak amongst yourselves. For the 30 seconds I'm gone. I will let you look at the pack. I'll be right back. I'll get the one. Did you guys get lonely without me? Eddie has added something into chat. Let's read it. Sneedler, the Spengler wand has a molded plastic faux tape grip. That's right. That's very different to the stock 84 wand. The Spengler wand also has a shotgun grip towards the end, which differs from the 84. Yes. Big show. Hello, sir, from Sheffield, UK. Amazing work, you're being set up an even more amazing prototype. Thank you. Welcome from the UK. It's good to have a fellow Brit. And I was saying that I now live in the US, but it's nice to have Brits on and to be reminded. So, hey, this is the V mount, by the way, that we were just talking about underneath. But yeah, so this is the wand. I have got a breakage here on mine. I need to repair this. It's meant to go there. But yeah, so this is the Spengler wand, and this is the tape that Eddie was talking about. So it's kind of like a fake masking tape, gaffer tape, like an army tape that's on the end. And then yeah, this is a slightly different look on the end here. But yeah, it's a really nice piece. Let's see. Let me just turn these off so you can turn these on. just realised my looks like my bar chart isn't working, which sometimes weirdly happens with this. If you turn it off, if you let it shut down, this is the battery pack, by the way, that goes in here at the end, and they have two different caps for the end. So this one is just terminated at the back like this, but they have a version that enables you to place the tube in to put it with the pack. TG Playtime, you are from the UK, that's true. Sorry, I forgot that, yes. Welcome to all our UK viewers, I should have said. I do apologise. So yeah, so there you go, there's the bar chart. And then, there we go. And so, you can hopefully hear the sound there of this. And the whole unit feels full of energy, it shakes. And then here on the top, if you turn this, the vibrating gets more, gets louder and more intense, and because it's turning the power up and down on the wand, basically, so it goes very quiet, and then it gets louder, and then obviously you pull this here, and that launches the top, and then you press intensify. And then if you press this button here, you can change. This is slime. Press it again. And this is more of a charge here. And then press it one more time. And finally back to the traditional thrower sounds. But yeah. That's it. Such a satisfying sound. But that's the wand, and my plan is actually to. I might do a few mods to this. I'll probably take this tape off, and then the idea is that this will, of course, go here on the. Oh, you can't see that because it's out of shot. Let me change that. Yeah, but this will go here on the pack like that. That is the plan. As we speak. Let's see, what are folks saying in chat? Let me go back to chat here. 986 is saying, let's bust some ghosts. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see. Eradika, I love Ghostbusters. Sven, nice one. Thank you. Lewis is saying, are you making a 360-degree view with cameras for Ecto? I'd love to know what you plan. Might do the same for my 63 Superior Caddy when I get to that point. So actually, what I was doing, so this is just for those of you that are new to the chat, this question refers to the Ecto 1NJ. So Nick has a fantastic Ecto 1 replica based out of New Jersey, not far from where I live. And I've been very lucky to become friends with him and do some really cool things with that car. And so just this weekend, and by the way, what I should say is that we have a whole number of videos with the Ecto where we went out and met met Jason Reitman, had him sign the car. We met McKenna Grace, had her sign the car. And all the coverage from the premiere of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, of course, the car was featured and used, and it's sponsored. Sony has used it now to promote stuff, so it's very cool. Great car, got a lot of attention. But we're doing a series of videos we're hoping to get out before Ghostbusters Day, where people take rides in the Ecto and we interview them. So actually what I was doing this week with the car was putting cameras inside the car in the right position so we can mic people up, have them sit next to Nick at the front, and Nick can interview them as they're riding the Ecto through the streets of New York City. So that's what we were doing, and it's super fun. So yeah, that's cool. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're talking Ghostbusters props. We're chatting about geeky stuff. We often talk a lot about Ghostbusters, but that's not the only topic. Lots of other 80s based movies and other fandoms that we're into here. And so, yeah, everyone's welcome. And if you're enjoying it, why not hit the subscribe button? You know, you might like some other stuff. There's some great videos. There's a whole video on this. There's a whole video on building these traps that we've been talking about. How to mod a Spirit Halloween trap to make it a smoking trap. You know, I've even built an animatronic dinosaur. That's on my channel as well. An announcement too is coming up too. So I need to get to that announcement. I said I would share that before the end of the stream for the next big thing that we're covering. Anyway, sorry. Let me get to these questions in chat here. Lots of people saying nice things about the pack. Thank you, folks. That's really kind of you. Let's see, 6 Constellations saying that's cool. Lucas saying hi. 6 Constellations saying, how did you make it? It's actually a 3D print. I'll be putting a whole video on the process of building this on my channel. Eddie's saying get an 84 wand. I won't regret it. I'm very tempted. Thanks, Eddie. 6 Constellations, how did you make it? What are the components? Well, lots of 3D printed parts, kind of like pieces like this, that all have to be stuck together to make this whole piece, and then a lot of spraying, a lot of sanding to kind of bring it all together. Let's see, Robert's saying, I'd be careful with the prop mech, as the version 1 wires can get cut with the prop. You can take apart and add wires or heat shrink wires, but cut some of the inner plastic. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot when you're modding anything. The video I show of me modding the Spirit Trap, keeping the electronics in place, was a whole thing. Whew, yeah, I broke a few wires and had to resolder them for sure. Jeanette, hello Jeanette. Eastwood, hello Eastwood. Mo Pips, hello Mo. Welcome back. You're a bit late, but that's fine. Just spent a lot of time at the makerspace and started printing my proton pack. Good for you, Mo. That's awesome. Well done. It's great having a makerspace near you, by the way. There's some great makerspaces. And if, by the way, you're looking at this and thinking, I can't possibly do this, or I'm never going to be able to 3D print a proton pack, I don't have the equipment, I don't have stuff. There are makerspaces all over the world, right? And if you don't know what a makerspace is, it's a place that you can go into that has access to 3D printing, that has access to the kinds of tools that you see on my shelves behind you. Oh, there's my pack falling over. It's a space where you can go and you can build and you can make, and even more importantly, hang out with other makers and get inspired by them, which is a super, super great thing. But that's great, Mo. So good to hear. Eastwood, huge Ghostbusters fan, always wanted a proton pack since they were little. Snedler, remember to give a like who just joined. Oh, thank you, Snedler. Yeah, if you like this and you're in chat and you haven't hit the like button, please hit like. And if you're liking what you see, please hit subscribe. There's lots of great content, all about building stuff, all about behind the scenes. You're gonna love it, honestly. Eastwood is saying that they do artwork. I'll be painting a canvas that's bigger than a 75-inch TV. What scene should I do? What would you recommend from Ghostbusters 1 or 2 as a scene? That's a great question. I think there's a few good moments, right? It depends if it's a wide canvas, if it's not portrait, but it's landscape. Maybe the Ghostbusters coming up to the throne of Gozer, maybe at the temple would be a cool one. Or you could do the explosion at the top of the tower, because it goes out so wide. Depends on what you're into. If you're depends on if you're more into landscapes or into people. But that sounds like a fun project to do. Or maybe you could have the Ecto coming out of the firehouse for the first time. That'd be fun. And good luck with it. Good luck with that. Jeanette, do I use fiberglass on any of your props? So I have not done, but I know people that have bought fiberglass shells for their pack. And fiberglass kind of is the material of choice for building it as a prop. That's what was used in the movies originally. And so, you know, but I 3D printed my shell because it was within my gift to do that. But I haven't used much in the way of fiberglass personally. DG Playtime is having to go because it's late in the UK. Thank you for joining us. Super appreciate it. Thanks for the people hitting the hearts and the emojis. It's great. That encourages me to keep going. Thank you. I appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the actual like button because that draws people from YouTube here to the stream because it shows you're enjoying what you're seeing. Sven, bye. See you on the next stream. Thank you, Sven. Thanks for joining. Robert, sorry, I was referring to the Spengler wand on the wire issue. Ah, got you. The 84 one doesn't have that. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. That is very good to know. Thank you. Thank you. Mo, will you modify your Spengler wand? I'm thinking about swapping the barrel out just to remove the white plastic inside and get more accurate tube. I've thought of exactly the same thing. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about it. I like everything else about it, but I don't like the opaqueness. And actually, it's opaque, obviously, so I can't turn this on while I'm holding a... it's opaque because... Why is Intensify not working? There we go. It's opaque, so those lights show up. But I've seen some incredible mods where they've actually put a plasma coil in here and you can see the lightning going up it. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things that you could do and like just not enough time in every day to do all of these things. But yes. Sneedler saying, oh, the courtroom destruction. That would be a good one for a painting. Yeah, I like that idea. Eastwood, 319. I did other movies like Back to the Future. Great. Beetlejuice, Superman, Christopher Reeves. Love to share them with you if you have an Instagram. Yes, I do. My Instagram... Oh, excuse me. My Instagram is just at Experience Explorers, like this channel. So Experience Explorers is where you go to find me. And yeah, if you're on Instagram, go follow the Instagram, please. If you're on Instagram, search for Experience Explorers, and I post stuff on there all the time. It's a great way to kind of to reach out to me and to chat with me. Let's see, Mo Peps. I think the bare LEDs also look quite good inside the accurate barrel. Yeah, maybe a bit of weathering and it's almost perfect. Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially, I mean that's exactly what they have on set. Is that bright flashing light, Lewis? Are you going to do any GB fan film stuff? That is a good question. So, it really depends. I did a trailer for, and you've probably seen it, Lewis, if you know Ecto1NJ. So the trailer for Ghost Tours of New York was probably the closest I've got so far to a Ghostbusters fan film. And if you're new to me and new to the channel and don't know what that is, so I hang around with Nick and Greg, team for Ecto1. It's an Ecto replica, and Nick does tours of New York in the car. And there's actually a video on my channel. The easiest way to find it is just hit subscribe, and then you'll find all my videos. But there's a video of me and my family taking basically the first tour that he did through New York, dressed as Ghostbusters, going to all the filming locations in New York in the Ecto1. One of the funnest days, I have to tell you, one of the funnest days I've ever spent in my life, hanging out in the Ecto1, driving around. So anyway, that's how I met Nick, and he wanted a trailer for these ghost tours and wanted to kind of invoke that feeling of what would it be like to be a Ghostbuster? How would that feel? How would that be? And so we made the Ghost Tours trailer with that in mind. And so there's a sequence in it where somebody gets scared by a ghost. We filmed at the Firehouse, guys, in New York City. Dream come true. Filmed at the Firehouse. But you can find that trailer. If you hit subscribe, you'll find the Ghost Tours of New York trailer on my YouTube, on this channel. And you'll also find we did a whole behind the scenes video of how we shot it. So that's the closest I've got so far to doing a fan film. Would I do something like that again? Definitely. I mean, I tell you, to be at the Firehouse filming with an Ecto, dream come true, folks. Absolute dream come true. And yeah, check it out. You'll see how excited I am in my face if you watch any of those videos. Restef, watched the film today. It was great. Good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Xavier, hello. welcome. Restef enjoyed the film. Hammer God, hi, Gamer God, sorry, not Hammer God, Gamer God, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Restef, hi, Restef loved the film, that's great. Lewis, I think it would be fun if people did a 50-minute short, subjects like the old Three Stooges format. Oh, interesting. Did 50-minute short subjects like the old Three Stooges format. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. That is an interesting idea. I like that. Well, welcome, folks in chat. My gosh, we've been having a really good chat today. So many people have joined, and so many things have been chatted about. I appreciate it. And if you've enjoyed any of this, or you're new here and you're enjoying what you see, hit the like button. You know, go for it. Gamer God is saying that they like Ghostbusters. That's fantastic. Let's see. What else are people saying? I'm trying to interpret the chat here. Let's see. 3D printing. What do you rate the new movie out of 10? Oh my gosh, that's a really difficult question. So, I went to the world premiere of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which was super fun. And so that has a huge influence on how you feel about a movie. Because, yeah, you've met the cast, you've met the stars. And so I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the new one. I think rating it, I would give it a 7. My favorite Ghostbusters movie is the original Ghostbusters. And then I would rank Ghostbusters Afterlife next after that. So that was my that's my take on it. But I really enjoyed it. I think Frozen Empire is great. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, Snedler gave it an 8. Cool. Random Game is like, wait, am I an actor? I'm not an actor. I was not at the premiere of Frozen Empire as an actor. I'm a content creator. I make stuff, props, and cover fandoms and those kind of things. So that's who I am. That's what I enjoy doing. But I did actually run a film production company back in the UK for a good while, and now I'm starting really building up to making more YouTube content and starting to shoot some stuff for people again, which has been super fun. So Robert's got to go. Robert, thank you for joining. I've appreciated all your advice and insight, and if you want to drop any of that stuff to me on my Instagram, I would appreciate it. Yes, thank you, really appreciate that. Indie Tech Consultant. Cheers. Hey, that's a cool name. So folks, let me just see what's going on here for time. So if there's any other questions that you guys have about printing your own proton pack, you want to ask me any questions about my experience with the Ghostbusters fandom or any other fandoms, to be honest with you. And I said I was going to make a big announcement at the end of this for something that I'm going to cover, and I'm sure people that were here almost an hour ago are probably not going to be here now because it's a long stream to hang on to, but we've had a shifting group of folks. Some of you have really hung out a long time. I super appreciate that. Yeah, so one of the things I was going to share is that, let's see, Gamer God is saying, how can I do a 3D printer of a model of a ghost trap? And Jeanette's saying he's ready for the announcement. They're ready for the announcement. So for a 3D printer, you need to buy a 3D printer, or as I was saying earlier, you can go to like a makerspace where you can use a 3D printer. Then you just need to there's a lot of websites around that enable you to buy models. Some models are free. Often the ones that you buy, you'll find will print better. And then really, I mean, there's a whole process, and there's a lot of great videos out there on YouTube about how to 3D print. And my suggestion would be that if you're really interested in doing that, to kind of do a bit of research. There's some brilliant videos, really easy to follow. And you can find pretty much everything you need out there on the web, which is the amazing thing these days, right? If you want to do anything these days, you can pretty much always find out how to do it by going to the internet. Game of God has a 3D printer, so yeah. So what you need to do then is just find that model. There's some good models out there. I think the Q Pack guys have made a really good printer. Eddie's saying, do you have a day job or have you segmented to content creation full time? I would love to do content creation full time, but I do have a day job. I run experiential events is what I do for a living. So I create different kind of magic at work and create experiences for folks. But that's what I've always been, always enjoyed. My motivation always with the things I've been doing in my career. I ran a film production company, then I went into experiential events. And then like branching out now into talking about the fandoms that I love and getting to share the fun things that I enjoy doing is really great. So I'm loving doing that. Stephanie's going. Thanks, Stephanie, for hanging out. It's been great. So I'm going to answer some of these questions, but first I'm going to make my announcement. So I said that I was going to announce something big that we're covering. So this is the first time I'm sharing this, and I'll share it on my Instagram and other stuff. But we're going to be going to a fan expo in Philadelphia, and very excitingly, our channel's been press credentialed to be able to go and cover fan expo. And the fan expo in Philadelphia's got some pretty cool stuff going on. One of the things I'm most excited about is that Adam Savage from Mythbusters is going to be there. I'm really hoping that I get an opportunity to talk with him as part of covering that event. And also, Aiden Christensen from Star Wars fame, Rosario Dawson, and the cast from Ahsoka are going to be there. I'm hoping to get to meet some of them. And also, the cast of The Office are going to be there. So, you know, more details to come about exactly what I'm going to be covering from the Fan Expo. But this is what you can expect, and I definitely can promise there will be a live stream probably on the Friday, which is not next Friday, but the Friday following, from Fan Expo, from the floor of the convention hall. And I will be covering the whole experience of going to a convention, what it's like, the experience is like, both for the people attending, the people exhibiting, the people running it, and some of the stars that are there that are willing to speak to me. You know, if any of that stuff interests you, please hit the subscribe button. We'll be bringing you all that stuff live. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, you know, the channel really is about the stuff I love, which is why it's called Experience Explorers. I love experiences and exploring them and sharing them with folks. And so Fan Expo is going to be one of those experiences, and really hoping, you know, if it's all possible. Adam Savage, if you're watching this, I can't imagine you are, but if you are, I would love to speak to you at Fan Expo Philadelphia and chat about what motivates you and your incredible career. And hoping to do the same with some other folks at the Fan Expo. So yeah, let's see, what are people saying? Mopips, Sean Charlesworth, yes, did an absolutely amazing Ghost Trap build on Tested. Yes, that is true. That is a great video. Yes, that is a great suggestion, Mo. Thank you for that. Stephanie said that they were going. That's true. Jeanette is excited. I think that's an excited face. Eddie, what are some experiential events you've done? Are you allowed to talk about it? I can't talk about it too much, but basically, the events that we run, because I'm working for a big company, are about helping businesses solve really complex problems. So we're creating an experience that's about helping people to think differently, so they can work differently, so they can solve things differently. And so, you know, imagine that, you know, a Disney Imagineer had a baby with a corporate workshop designer. And that's kind of our mentality. It's like, how do you get people into a different mindset so then they can think differently and get out of their way of thinking, so they can solve things fast, and so they have a shared experience that a group can then align around. That's the kind of work I do, which is super fun, actually. Mo, if you want moving doors, the pedal and smoke, it's a bit more complicated, but it has great instructions. Back to the 3D print we're talking about. Gamer God, can I shout out for your YouTube channel? I've just done it, Gamer God. This is a shout out for your YouTube channel. I've never seen it, but if people think they like the look of it, go look at it. You're welcome to big yourself up in the chat, Gamer God. Chrissy, I'm back and still creating it, but I'm listening to the big announcement. Cool. Awesome. Snedler's saying, I'm assuming he's saying that you felt Star Wars has been gone a little bit off the rails since Disney's had it. Some of it has, but some of it I like. I enjoyed Ahsoka personally, but it's fine if you didn't. And Mo Pip's saying congratulations. Yeah, I'm excited. I'll probably create some posts in the YouTube community area, and just begin a chat about kind of what you guys would like me to cover at Fan Expo. And I just think it's going to be cool. There's going to be so many fandoms represented, and just for me personally, I'm just super excited to hopefully meet Adam Savage in some form, even if it's just to line up and get his autograph. That would be a big deal for me. Cool. Gamer God does Ghostbusters videos sometimes. Cool. That's awesome. Well, listen, folks. I'm probably going to call it quits now because I've been live streaming for 2 hours, if you can believe that. But hey, look. Thank you for being here. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please feel free to do so. You're going to find loads of content, of me talking about fandoms, building stuff, creating things, all of that stuff you'll find here on my YouTube. And if you're excited to see the coverage from the Philadelphia Fan Expo, and hopefully me bumping into some of the cast of The Office, hopefully getting to see Adam Savage, and definitely getting to see in some form the cast of Star Wars Ahsoka, then hey, hit the subscribe button and hit the notify bell. And as more information comes out about how we're going to be covering that content, I will let you know. And hey, those of you that have hung in for the whole of this thing, you guys are amazing. And Sneedler, I need to call it out here. Thank you for the super after the live. I really appreciate it, Sneedler. Thank you very, very much. If you enjoyed this, and if you hang out, one of the things that makes it possible for me to do this is if you want to drop a super chat, even if it's just $1 sticker or something like that, to help me with building stuff and making things, I would super appreciate it. And if you can't do that, that is totally fine. You're just welcome to be here. Everyone is welcome. So, okay, Mo, it's post 12 a.m. now in Europe, so you probably should go to sleep. You should, Mo. You should, Mo. All right. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. It's been awesome. I super appreciate it. Have yourself a fantastic evening or the rest of your day, depending on what part of the world you're in. I love the fact that the folks on this chat have come from all over the world. It is amazing. It's good to hang out with other Ghostbusters fans and other fans of building props and other fans of 80s fandoms and all sorts of stuff. Geeking out together is what I love most. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you next time on Experience Explorers.